Around 802 AD, the summit of Kulen Mountain, Cambodia. Jayavarman II stood at the mountain's peak. Before him stretched a vast, endless jungle. That day, a Brahmin priest chanted ancient Sanskrit incantations. According to later inscriptions, this was no mere ritual. It was a declaration. We will bow no longer to the king of Java. His words carried on the tropical wind. The Khmer were free. In that moment, an empire was born. An empire that would soon cast its mighty shadow across all of Southeast Asia and give rise to the greatest religious monument in human history. What was he thinking in that moment? According to tradition, Jayavarman II had once lived within the sphere of power known as Java. Yet the nature of that stay remains uncertain in the historical record. Was he a hostage? A political exile? Historians still debate the question. But one thing is certain. He knew firsthand the weight of another power's dominion. He became the Devaraja, the God King. As the intermediary between gods and men, he held absolute authority. On that authority, he began uniting the surrounding kingdoms, one by one. Through negotiation, through force. The Khmer Empire, born in that moment, would endure for over 600 years. But why Angkor? The Khmer kings moved their capital many times. Yet in the late 9th century, their eyes turned to the plains stretching north of the Tunnel Sap Lake. This land held a special power. In the rainy season, vast waters poured in. In the dry season, the land thirsted. The Khmer engineers set out to master this natural cycle. What they built stands as one of the most sophisticated ancient irrigation systems in the history of the world. Enormous artificial reservoirs, the Baray, canals spreading in every direction like veins. This water became the foundation of everything. This water system built the Khmer Empire. Researchers have found that the development of water storage and irrigation dramatically expanded the farmland available for cultivation even in the dry season. Agricultural production stabilized, yields grew. As a result, Angkor could sustain a staggering population. Recent LiDAR aerial survey data reveals that Angkor was a vast, low-density agricultural metropolis rivaling the area of modern Los Angeles. A sprawling urban region, its settlements spreading along farmlands and canals. Population estimates remain difficult, varying between several hundred thousand and 1 million depending on the study, but in any case, Angkor stood as one of the largest cities in the world of its time. In the same era, Paris held perhaps 50,000 souls. London, around 30,000. Different definitions of city and different methods of estimation make direct comparisons difficult. And yet, can you begin to grasp just how extraordinary the scale of Angkor truly was? That immense population and agricultural might would soon produce something that would leave the world speechless. 1113 AD. A new king rose over Angkor. Suryavarman II. His name means protected by the Sun King, and the ambition he carried was worthy of that name. From the moment he took the throne, his mind was already made up. He knew exactly how he would carve his reign into eternity. Kings before him had built temples, but he would surpass them all. He would create an offering to the gods on a scale no human eye had ever witnessed. What was he thinking in that moment? The Brahmin priests made their calculations. A temple to mirror Mount Meru, the center of the cosmos. The most sacred place on earth, consecrated to the god Vishnu. A vision of breathtaking grandeur took shape in his mind. But to transform that vision into stone required calculations of staggering complexity. 162.6 hectares of sacred ground. The outer wall alone, 5.5 kilometers in circumference. The central tower would rise 65 meters toward the heavens. All of this, built by human hands alone, with the technology of the age. He must have understood the full weight of that decision. This would be the labor of a lifetime. Construction began. Researchers, estimates reveal a scale that defies imagination. The total volume of stone used, estimated from the building's mass, runs into the tens of millions of tons. Rivaling, perhaps surpassing, the Great Pyramid of Giza. Where did all this stone come from? Recent surveys have uncovered a network of man-made canals running directly from the quarries to the construction site. These routes made it possible to transport the vast stone supply with remarkable efficiency. Tens of thousands of craftsmen and laborers stacked sandstone with breathtaking precision. The main structure relied not on mortar, but on the exact fitting of stone upon stone. The precision of the joints is extraordinary. Even modern architects studying these walls are left in awe. While the temple rose, Suryavarman II kept marching. Historians have found that through military campaigns and diplomacy, the Khmer sphere of influence expanded dramatically during his reign. His reach extended into parts of what are now Thailand, Laos, Myanmar, and southern Vietnam. Yet direct rule and tributary relationships were intertwined, and the form of control varied by region. In any case, the Khmer presence in Southeast Asia was without rival in the world of its time. But his greatest legacy was not won on the battlefield. Construction continued. Sandstone kept rising. The craftsman's chisel kept breathing life into stone. The walls of Angkor Wat bear bas-reliefs stretching more than 800 meters. Their precision still renders researchers speechless today. The swirling dance of the celestial apsaras. The great battles of the Hindu epic, the Mahabharata. The military campaigns of Suryavarman II himself. A single craftsman raised his chisel to the sandstone. Each stroke of that hand reaches across 900 years and touches our eyes today. Historians estimate that tens of thousands of craftsmen, laboring across many years, brought these reliefs to completion. This cannot be told as the story of one king's ambition alone. It is the crystallization of countless nameless hands, their labor, their skill, their lives. The principal construction is believed to have unfolded across several decades in the first half of the 12th century. By the time the great work was done, Suryavarman II was already old, but he lived to see Angkor Wat rise before his eyes. 5 lotus-shaped towers soaring toward the sky. The central tower, 65 meters high. The moat surrounding it, 190 meters wide. And in that still water, the reflection of the towers. Around 1150 AD, Suryavarman II passed from this world. No record remains. But what did he think in his final moments? He must have known with certainty that this mountain of stone would outlive him. And he was right. In that era, Angkor was the world. Recent LiDAR surveys have confirmed something remarkable. Angkor was the largest low-density agricultural city in the world before the Industrial Revolution. Settlements spread along farmlands and canals across an area rivaling modern Los Angeles. A simple comparison of numbers is difficult, but the sheer, unmatched scale of Angkor in its time is beyond question. At its heart stood Angkor Wat, a stone axis of the cosmos, standing between gods and men. But all empires change. The Khmer Empire was no exception. In the 13th century, new powers rose on its borders. From the west, Thai peoples built the Sukhothai kingdom and pushed outward. Within, power struggles never ceased. And researchers point to another force, the water system itself. 700 years of expansion and repair had brought the system to the edge of its limits. Then, recent paleoclimate research revealed something that changed our understanding entirely. Between the 14th and 15th centuries, the empire endured decade-long megadroughts, followed by catastrophic floods powerful enough to shatter the water infrastructure. Over and over again. Tree-ring studies and cave sediment analysis from multiple sources support the existence of these megadroughts. This was not political decline alone. The climate itself was devouring the empire's foundations. Slowly, but without mercy. 1431. The armies of the Ayutthaya kingdom closed in on Angkor. The Khmer king and his court faced an impossible choice: fight or flee. According to the records, they chose to abandon the capital. A procession moved south. Elephants, carts, people. The political heart of an empire that had endured for over 600 years fell further and further behind. If someone looked back in that moment, what would they have seen? The towers of Angkor Wat, rising into the tropical sky. Unchanged, silent. After the people left, nature returned. Tree roots crept between the stones. Moss draped the walls. Strangler figs wrapped their arms around the stone towers. But Angkor Wat did not fall. And here is something essential to understand. Angkor Wat was never completely forgotten. The political center moved south, but this place lived on as a sacred site of Theravada Buddhism. Monks continued to tend it, and across Asia, pilgrims kept it alive as a place of faith. In the early 17th century, Japanese pilgrims who came to Cambodia through the Vermilion Seal ship trade left behind detailed drawings of Angkor Wat. To the Western world, it remained unknown, but in the memory of the Asian peoples, this temple never ceased to live. 1860. French naturalist Henri Mouhot pushed through the jungles of Cambodia. Searching for plants, he traced rivers upstream, walked through the undergrowth. And then, through the trees, it appeared. Stone towers, soaring above the jungle. Strangler fig roots coiled around them. Moss claimed every surface. But their majesty reached across time, untouched. Mouhot's journals and sketches, published after his death, shook Europe to its core. Others, missionaries, travelers, had reported the site before him. But it was Mouhot's detailed record that definitively ignited European fascination with Angkor in the 19th century. The memory of an empire, sleeping in the jungle, came once more before the eyes of the world. Today, Angkor Wat is a World Heritage Site. 162.6 hectares of sacred ground. 5.5 kilometers of outer wall. A central tower rising 65 meters. The temple complex, including its moat and outer enclosure, is known as the largest religious monument in the world. Every year, millions of people make the journey here, but it is not the overwhelming scale I want you to carry with you today. It is something else. Every one of these stones was touched by human hands that left no name behind. The nameless craftsman who, 900 years ago, carved sandstone under a blazing sun. Look at the flag of Cambodia. At its center, Angkor Wat. Cambodia is one of the only countries on Earth whose flag bears the image of a building. What does that mean? A structure built of stone 900 years ago remains, to this day, the very heart of a people's pride. The empire is gone. The water system has returned to the earth. But what human beings built with honesty and devotion outlasts every age? Political collapse, climate change, military defeat. There was no single reason the Khmer Empire fell. But the skill and the prayers a craftsman poured into stone, those outlasted everything. And so I leave you with a question. History records only outcomes. But the people who laid those stones never knew the outcome. If something you devoted your life to still moves people 900 years from now, how much meaning does that work hold? And no matter how sophisticated a civilization, it could not hold back the forces of climate and nature. And yet, human beings kept reaching to leave something behind. What is it we are reaching for? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Thank you for witnessing this moment in history with me. The Khmer Empire is gone, but Angkor Wat still stands. Here on Turning Point History, we bring to life the rise and fall of empires like this one, the moments of decision that moved the course of human history, seen from within the minds of those who lived them. If you want to stand at history's turning points again and again, subscribe and turn on notifications. Until next time,